We'll gather around, feel the love come down. Blue elephant is strong, together we belong. In every comment bright, you lift me to new heights. Your support, it's clear, gives me reason to cheer. Blue elephant crew, this one's out for you.
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today we are doing air dry clay in resin, and I don't know if you remember a few months ago I asked you guys what you wanted to see. Well, the two subscribers that were just popped up on the screen, this is what they wanted to see. So granted, it's not polymer clay. I've never used that before. I've actually never used air dry clay before, but we're going to try it. Now, this is one of the videos that I was in the process of making when my camera decided that it was going to die. But I feel like I didn't get far enough that I can't kind of catch you up to where we're at now. So all I did was, at the point that I am now, I am using my large oval tray. And I just took some glitter and some glue and my Let's Resin epoxy resin and kind of put it around that outer rim of the tray and let that cure. And then I took some of the Das air dry clay and I put it into an owl mold that I had and then a leaf mold that I had, which I will link in the description box below. I apologize for not being here, but like I said, I think we're good enough that you guys can kind of figure out what I've got going on at this point. I did let this dry for about 3-ish days just to make sure that it's completely dry. And then I just took a fingernail file and I kind of just went around the edges where, you know, it just had some messiness, and I filed it down, cleaned off all the dust with a soft brush, and now we're at the painting part. Now, I am painting just like I would anything else, just using my acrylic paints. And as I kind of go through this process, I'm just going to let you kind of chill, sit back, relax, and just watch it unfold. And then I will come back for the next step, and we will see if we can get this to work or if we're going to have just like a crap ton of air bubbles like what happened when I used EcoPore in resin not too long ago. I don't know. We're gonna see how it works. I will catch you guys on the flip side.
Out on a tree branch, watching leaves fall, colors all around. Nature's quiet call, golden reds and browns, drifting in the breeze. Silent owl looks down, autumn's gentle tease. Leaves they flutter down, blanket on the ground. Our wisdom found in the autumn sound. Branches sway and creak, chills in the air. Owls' eyes soft that speak of beauty they share. Day turns into dusk, colors start to blend. Owl and branch will trust, beauty never ends. Flutter down, blanket on the ground. Owl with wisdom found in the autumn sound. Turns into dust, colors start to blend. Owl branch will trust, beauty never ends. Leaves they flutter down, blanket on the ground. Owl with wisdom found in the autumn sound. Day turns into dusk. Colors start to blend. Owl and branch will trust. Beauty never ends. Stars begin to shine. Moonlight through the trees. Owl's gaze is divine, watching with ease.
Alright, I'm back. So I let these dry for a good full day just to make sure again that I'm not trapping any moisture in it. Now what I'm going to do is take my Deco Clear gloss varnish and I'm going to get a brush and I'm going to put a thin layer over this front and back. I want it completely sealed off. I'm sure that, I mean, I don't know 100%, but I feel like air dry clay is probably very porous. So if I just put it in there unprotected, it will be kind of like wood and just air bubbles are just going to come out of it. So I think that if I do this, hopefully, fingers crossed, that will, kind of eliminate that problem. But I am making sure that I am putting it everywhere, on the sides, on the back, on the front, all over the place. And then we're going to let this dry for a couple of hours just to make sure it's completely dry. I'm putting on a thin layer, so it really shouldn't take that long. But again, I don't want any issues. All right, so this is where we're at with the tray. Now you can kind of see what I was talking about, where I put the glitter at. Now what I'm doing is I'm just taking a very thin layer of clear resin and I'm going over this, kind of like the emptiness of where I'm going to put all of the leaves and the owl. I don't want a lot of clear down. I just want kind of like all I have to put in it. Now, this owl piece is kind of, because it's very 3D-ish, it's, I think, a fondant mold or a chocolate mold, one of those. It kind of sticks up a little bit more than, honestly, I'd like, but I kind of can't, like, not put enough clear resin in it to, like as far up, because I really wanted it super thin. And with the leaves, I could go super thin. This, I have to go a little bit thicker than I'd like. And that's going to show like a clear layer in between the glitter and the backing coat, if that makes sense, which I don't necessarily care for, but I mean, it is what it is with this piece. One of you guys had asked me to do something with owls, and I apologize. I can't remember who it was or which video it was on to go back and look. So here is the first owl piece that I'm going to do. Now, I did go over and I'm kind of rubbing the resin on the facing of each piece just to get into those little details in there to hopefully eliminate any air bubbles when I place it down. And then what I'm going to do after I kind of get all of them kind of where I want them, and I'm just putting them in any direction, like if they're falling down as the owl is kind of sitting on his little tree branch, you know what I mean? Like they're just falling. So it doesn't matter if they're all facing one direction or if they're facing a bunch of different directions. It's kind of how I want it, is different directions. So we're going to kind of just go with it, place it on, make sure that it kind of looks even and the owl is centered. And then what I want to do is I'm going to take this resin, because I do need a little bit more in here to get up on the sides of my owl, so that when I put the next layer on, it's not covering half of his face, just because of how the mold goes. And I'm going to drizzle the clear resin over top of the backs of all of these pieces too. Now, my reason for doing that is, at this point right now, if any bubbles come out of the backing of it, say I didn't do a good enough job with the gloss varnish or whatever, if it comes out of the back, it doesn't matter, right? Because there's going to be another layer that's going to go over top of it. So if I can get the resin over top of each one of these little pieces, then it's dry. And when I go to put my next layer on, I don't have to worry about any air bubbles coming from any of these pieces whatsoever, because they are completely encased in resin. Does that make sense? So that's what my kind of goal for this is as I go around. And then we're just going to hit it with a heat gun just to make sure that there's no bubbles on top and all of that fun stuff. And I am just taking it just to the height where I think I need it. I don't want to go any farther than that. And this way I also don't have to worry about these pieces floating either. All right, so for the backing, Let's Resin recently sent me their 60 count mica powders because I really wanted to try them. They have some interesting colors and varieties, and we're just going to go through it really quick, and I'm kind of going to flip them all over so you kind of get a basis of the colors. Now they do have like color shifting colors in there as well, which I was super curious about because I've not used them before. And then they have a bunch of the interference powders too, which I truly like to use, and we're actually going to use the gold interference along with the red color shifting one in this project because why not? I don't want to go with like a plain white. I think white will just look kind of nyeh. And I don't want to necessarily go with an orange or a color that's gonna kind of like I'll lose all of my colors for what I painted on the leaves and stuff. So what we're gonna do is I am just taking this gold interference and I am going to put some in here. Now I want it opaque. I don't want it translucent at all. I really don't want to see these pieces coming out of the back of it. So that's kind of what I'm going for. But I thought that with the interference color, it's already not like a straight white because you have that gold coming out, right? And then once I kind of get to the point where I feel like I have enough of that in there, I'm going to take some of this color shifting red, and it's not like your true bright bold red. It's, I don't know. To me, it looks more kind of like a red orange kind of color. And I'm just going to take a little bit of that and put that in here just to give it a little bit, not orange, but also not white. You know what I mean? So we're going to get this kind of goldeny orange, I guess, color, which is light enough that I don't feel like I should lose any of those colors, but not like white. Like I just don't want white. Now, because of how high up that owl sets, we are going to see the white background of him, and that is just going to be what it is. I mean, it's the bottom of the piece. It's whatever. It really doesn't matter all that much. Like, it just is what it is. Now, we're going to let this dry. Now, hindsight, I did not mix up my micas very well. I thought I did, but I did not. So we will be seeing a little bit of those powders coming out, and that is unfortunate, but it'll be fine. It'll be fine. All right. So 24 hours later, now it is time to unmold this baby and see if it worked and if we were able to kind of make it without getting a lot of bubbles. Again, I know this isn't polymer clay, but I would feel like that it would kind of go along the same principle. You could do the baking portion of it, paint it, and then just make sure that you seal it with something first. And I think that you would be okay, regardless if it's in a deep pour or if it's just something shallow. Now, obviously, if you're doing something deep pour, you just want to make sure that you're doing whatever you need to do to get them so that they're not going to float up on you. I would think that's pretty much it. And then you should be fine, I think. All right, you guys ready? Here it is. I think it looks cute. I really like it. I did get a little kind of baby air bubbles on a couple of those leaves, and that's just because of the way that it put down, just like with anything, but nothing horrible. I think it looks super cute. I mean, you can kind of see how the owl looks like he's kind of sinking into it, but it's fine. It'll be fine. Anyway, that's a wrap on this one, guys. Like, subscribe, share, all that good stuff. I will catch you on Saturday in the next one. Love ya. Bye.
Together we belong. In every comment right, you lift me to